DrawnOut Expose Part 2 incoming. He admittedly didn't play many games, and his opinions are shaped by watching videos of others, and by mainstream kosher games journalists.
Alright, it is finally official. Fallout 3 and New Vegas remasters have been confirmed directly from Bethesda. The Obsidian collaboration is real and also confirmed. There is no question this was Asha Sharma's decision, and Todd can't be thrilled about it.
The decision was made by higher-ups at Microsoft, of course.
Todd can't be thrilled about it. You know, I do wonder how that went. Good morning. Hope everyone's ready for their big day today. Asha's here. Quiet. Oh, hi Asha. Didn't see you there. Yeah, I've been working all day on that tweet you wanted me to type up. Fabulous, Todd. Let me take a quick peek first. Sure thing, Asha. Here you go. Just keep in mind that it's in pre-production right now. Oh no, this simply won't do, Todd. The idea moving forward is going to be transparency with our projects, Todd.
Bro playing with Ken and Barbie again.
But Asha, we like to build anticipation naturally over long periods of time. We think it's okay for people to miss things. Like, have you seen Rockstar? Todd, cut the shit. This studio has more leaks than could ever be plugged. Everyone knows about the remasters. The Obsidian collaboration was leaked almost immediately, Todd. Tell them. A note from Bethesda Game Studios. Now, I think it's important to mention that this wasn't just a note from Bethesda. According to Asha's tweet, this was a note directly from Todd Howard. So let's start with this one real quick. Asha tweeted, Todd Howard, not Bethesda, just shared plans for the Fallout, Elder Scrolls, and Starfield franchises. These worlds have earned a special place within hundreds of millions of people over many years. I'm looking forward to what's next, including the partnership with Obsidian on a new Fallout game,
Partnership of Obsidian and Bethesda to make Fallout.
a closer collaboration with ZeniMax Online Studios on the Elder Scrolls. The achievement of these franchises
ZeniMax Online Studios made and maintain Elder Scrolls Online. If TES6 ends up like ESO, that will be a disaster.
are remarkable. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim has crossed 65 million units sold, becoming one of the 10 best-selling games of all time. Fallout 4 has also crossed 35 million units sold, joining the top 25. And Starfield will soon reach over 1 billion hours played. That is actually hilarious that she goes over the sales for Skyrim and Fallout 4, but not for Starfield. Now, more to the point, let's get into Bethesda's tweet, because there is a lot to talk about here. They start by saying, we love making these worlds as much as you love playing in them. Which is a funny thing to say considering you haven't actually made any worlds in a while. They say, today we want to share what's next for Bethesda Game Studios and what you can expect from us in the years ahead. For 40 years, we've built games that have entertained almost 500 million players. More than just games, these are worlds. Worlds for you to explore, shape, and make your own. Worlds we return to together. I do have something to say about this. Bethesda started thinking this way after Skyrim. Before Skyrim, Bethesda built games, and after Skyrim, Bethesda built worlds. They, for some reason, thought we wanted to live in their...
DrawnOut wouldn't know because he didn't play those games. And I know many that would love to live in Morrowind.
I would still take it though. But yeah, as far as a lot of their recent games, I just haven't played them. But from what I hear online, the only one I've played is Original Sins 2, and it was great. Their Wolfenstein games have been pretty good for what I've seen. I have not played them. I didn't play Deathloop either, but I've heard it's pretty mixed. Warcraft, hit. Diablo, hit. StarCraft, hit. World of Warcraft, hit. Hearthstone, Overwatch, hit. Now, I don't play many Blizzard games at all. In fact, I've only played Diablo 4. As far as their other games, I guess Fallen Order was good, Medal of Honor was bad, and Jedi Survivor was pretty good. I didn't play any of these, I'm just going off of reviews. F tier. You don't take 8 years to make Starfield and not get F tier.
Wardenfell Island of Morrowind and Cyrodiil, the Imperial Province with Plains of Oblivion, are worlds. Daggerfall takes place in provinces High Rock and Hammerfell, also a huge world. Fantasy game worlds for players to immerse themselves and roleplay as their favorite characters. It's not something a noob that never played the old Bethesda games would understand. Players still fondly remember Balmora, Vivec, Alderaan, Imperial City, Cheydinhal, etc. just as they remember some cities they traveled to in real life. That's the magic that was lost over the years and decades since Skyrim, and especially so since Microsoft acquisition.
Worlds and not just play great games, which is where we get all of the Fallout 4 nonsense that doesn't feel like a real game. It feels like a simulation. I actually kind of hate this outlook that they have on building worlds and not games.
DrawnOut wouldn't know because he didn't play those games.
They went on to say that's what's driving us forward. We're investing more deeply in the worlds players love, giving creators a bigger role in shaping their experiences, and bringing our games closer together so we can get our games into your hands sooner, support them longer, and continue building them alongside you for decades to come. So you gotta give credit where credit is due. Bethesda definitely sticks with their games even if we don't like them. And of course, they famously release their dev tools for their games so that people can build them alongside them, like they say, or fix them for them, whatever. The next section is Starfield Continues, and we'll just skip that. Who fucking cares? They went on to say, created by players. We've believed from the beginning that our worlds belong not only to the people who make them, but also to the people who play them. That's why we've long provided players with the tools to create their own experiences, dating back to the Morrowind construction set. This year marked another major milestone for creations, with its expansion to Fallout 4 joining Skyrim and Starfield. We're proud to say creators have already earned more than $10 million in royalties from their work. And I think that's awesome. I've let my opinion on creations be known in the past. I think a lot of them are kind of overpriced for what you get, but it's kind of a great accomplishment that they've done here. I mean, it's a system that just kind of works. Console players wanted the ability to use mods. Bethesda had a bunch of people willing to make mods for them, and they created a system where the people making the mods can get paid and the people buying the mods have, choice to buy what they want. And then they brought up the future of Fallout, and this is obviously the section I cared most about. They said Fallout is one of our biggest priorities today. Fallout 5 remains our long-range destination, and we have multiple Fallout projects in active development right now. Obviously, nothing new here. Everybody knows that Fallout 5 has been in pre-production. Todd said this, I think, 3 years ago now, maybe even 4. And it's not the first time we've heard multiple Fallout projects in development. They go on to talk about 76, saying Fallout 76 continues to be home to millions of players exploring Appalachia together. I doubt it. I don't think there's millions of people still playing the game. With the nearly 70 free updates released to date, and tons of Atom Shop slop along the way, the journey is far from over. In fact, we have a major Fallout 76 expansion plan for next year, Raven Rock, a prequel story to Fallout 3. And I gotta stop there. It's no secret that I have played quite a bit of Fallout 76 at this point. I am a Fallout fan, and a long time ago I decided if that's all I'm gonna get, then I'm gonna deal with it. Now, I don't play it anymore because there's just nothing to do, but you can certainly get me interested with the prequel story to Fallout 3. Now, it's clearly going to have something to do with the Enclave because of Raven Rock, and I should point out this isn't the first time they've included Fallout 3 material within the 76. Obviously, we have the Pit, which was pretty awful, and this is going to have to be one that they prove to us is good, because I just don't have much faith in it being a 76 project. It's just, But they went on to say Fallout 4, the most award-winning game in the franchise, just celebrated its 10-year anniversary and recently passed over 35 million copies sold, continuing to attract a new audience every year. We also know many players want to revisit previous Fallout experiences. While we're not announcing any dates today, we have been working on remasters for both Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, no shit. Todd, we have known about the Fallout 3 remaster since 2020.
This leaked roadmap is flawed and was obviously made to entice Microsoft to pay more for Bethesda. With unrealistic timings of development and with release dates that Bethesda later failed to meet.
That was 6 years ago. It is not some secret. And the New Vegas remaster was also pretty obvious. I mean, the Fallout show went to New Vegas. It also just wouldn't make sense if you remastered 3 and not New Vegas. But of course, it is good to have official confirmation. At least now we just have to wonder when. They go on to talk about Fallout Shelter, saying it continues to be the most popular way to experience Fallout. Did Fallout look like? I remember we won't host a traditional Fallout Day broadcast this year. Master. I don't know how it's going to take them until it looks like this might be around at least when we get the Fallout 3 remaster. I don't know how it's going to take them until October of 2027 to get that out when it was leaked in 2020. 7 years to get a remaster out the door? Fucking crazy, but that does seem like the best guess. I mean, they're already making a big deal about the 2027 Fallout Day again with our longtime friends at Obsidian Entertainment. Longtime friends, huh? Time friends at Obsidian Entertainment. Longtime friends, huh? We're happy to confirm they're working with out of them. We're happy project. They're working with us on our project. I cannot wait to see how they spin this shit in the future. They go on to say, we're also bringing our teams closer together across Bethesda. ZeniMax Online Studios will partner closely with Bethesda Game Studios on the Elder Scrolls franchise, while continuing to deliver incredible new experiences for ESO. Season 1.
Microsoft is obviously consolidating all of these studios and cutting the overlapping useless employees. Legacy names like Bethesda and Obsidian are just fancy nostalgia bait monikers for departments of Microsoft gaming subsidiary.
Return of the Thieves Guild recently launched, and the team has more planned for the future. By aligning more directly across the franchise, we can create even better experiences for players. So this is Bethesda code for, we actually have no idea how to complete the Elder Scrolls 6, and we desperately need these people to help us. They also said, bringing our teams closer together is helping us build a stronger foundation for everything we create, blah, 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 blah. The Elder Scrolls and beyond. That foundation extends beyond our teams to the technology, tools, and systems that will power the next generation of Bethesda RPGs. Our teams are now developing the Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5 on Creation Engine 3, a shared technology platform we've been building since Starfield's launch. It allows our teams to support multiple projects simultaneously with new tools, rendering, and systems that define our games. So how does Creation Engine 3 allow you to support multiple projects simultaneously?
Having the same engine used by multiple studios within Microsoft for multiple games can, in theory, streamline some development jobs, like creation of assets, programming of gameplay mechanics, optimization, debugging, quality assurance, and more.
Where we plan to be, loving how it looks, and playing it every day. You're where you plan to be? This is where you plan to be. When was this plan created? Was it created after Skyrim? Did you plan? This is where you...
Plan was obviously to make Elder Scrolls and Fallout into online games as a service, and make a new IP that is Starfield. But that failed, and Microsoft bought Bethesda.
You plan to be? When was this plan created? Was it created after Skyrim? Did you plan for 15 years later you'd still be working on the Elder Scrolls 6? That was part of your fucking plan? I could not be happier that Asha Sharma took over Xbox.
Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76 failed. Starfield failed. Game Pass failed.
Because I think she has different plans for Bethesda's future. They finish by saying the road ahead. Across Bethesda Game Studios, we're building the future of Fallout, The Elder Scrolls, and Starfield. We're investing in our technology, bringing teams closer together, supporting our live games, expanding into new forms of entertainment, and developing the next generation of Bethesda RPGs. I love how they say Bethesda RPGs and not RPGs. They know that that wouldn't go over well. They said we couldn't be more excited for what's ahead and wanted to share as much as we could today. You didn't want to do this. We can't thank you enough for all you've given to us in these worlds, and we can't wait to continue them together. Bethesda Game Studios.
Bethesda wanted players to play the Fallout 5 and 6 and 7 within Fallout 76, and to play TES 6 and TES 7 within Elder Scrolls Online, so they can bleed the player base dry through battle passes, microtransactions, creations, paid mods, etc.
And I saw this meme that perfectly explained the fan reaction to this post.
Hey, finally!
That's what we've been waiting for!
They seem to like it when I put this patty on the grill. I may be able to save this act yet. Roll with it, SpongeBob, roll with it. There's more where that came from, folks. Yeah! You like that?
It's what we wanted all along!
Very funny, very accurate, and it's pretty much exactly how I feel. It has been this easy for them to do for so long. All people have really wanted is confirmation on the things that they like being worked on, and that was too much for Bethesda to provide. Over 8 years ago, they announced The Elder Scrolls 6. And all this time later, the screenshot they shared for The Elder Scrolls 6 is the same fucking screenshot. That is kind of fucking worrying, I'm not gonna lie. Like, do you have nothing else to show? You couldn't take a screenshot from somewhere else? It had to be the exact same thing?
That is concerning, and further confirms they got nothing, or nothing worthwhile to show, apart some pre-production stuff and Creation Engine 3 slop.
That does not give me confidence in this game or your company in general. I and many others appreciate the little bit of transparency we got here. And I say little bit because all they did was confirm stuff we already knew. There is nothing really new in this. They confirmed a bunch of leaks. That's pretty much it. We still have to see what the execution on any of this looks like. And I'm going to have a full video talking about the Obsidian Fallout and what I think needs to happen there. My opinions on how I think they're going to make it, all of that stuff. This announcement was so long overdue. And I'm glad something is seemingly finally happening at Bethesda, but we really need to wait and see if this trend will continue, or if they're just going to go dark again for the next few years until The Elder Scrolls. Hopefully Asha Sharma doesn't let that happen, and she keeps on their asses and really shows them how effective, talking to your fans can be. Only time will really tell at this point.
We're also bringing our teams closer together across Bethesda, said Howard. ZeniMax Online Studios will partner closely with Bethesda Game Studios on the Elder Scrolls franchise, while continuing to deliver incredible new experiences for the Elder Scrolls Online. He promised more ESO to come in the future. By aligning more directly across the franchise, we can create even better experiences for players, he said. Bringing our teams closer together is helping us build a stronger foundation for everything we create next. Howard said that both The Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5 are being developed using Creation Engine 3. Cooperation of BGS with Elder Scrolls Online Developer Studio is one of the most concerning parts of this. ESO never hit the mark to be even close as good as mainline Elder Scrolls games. Just look at Morrowind in ESO compared to real Morrowind. Add to that the layoffs, the continuation of ESO development alongside Test 6, and that it will use the same engine as Starfield, with Microsoft's woke slop as the final layer on top of the shit cake. Test 6 can be Starfield, with dragons and California-dyed hair feminists and HR Karens.
Something else Bethesda did was they finally broke their blacklist with
Why this guy has always railed against gamers. He's always been anti-gamer. He's always been pro ugly women in games. And I want to analyze one of his recent videos where he just straight up lies about several things that he said. So let's go through everything here. If you type Jason Schreier controversies into ChatGPT, you'll come up with a full list of everything that he's been embroiled in and everything that he's lied about the past couple years. But I want to start with this article he wrote for Kotaku in 2013, where he said, game developers really need to stop letting teenage boys design their characters. And then he said this: as you can see, The Sorceress was designed by a 14-year-old boy. Perhaps game development studios should stop hiring teenagers. At least they're cheap, I guess. Guys, again, this is what happens when you listen to a gay man for your video game reporting. They can't be trusted. And in response to some of the backlash that he got for this article, he then said this: why complain? Because it's embarrassing. Because I wouldn't want to be seen playing it in public. Because I love Japanese games and Japanese RPGs, and I don't want them to perpetuate the ugly boys club mentality that has pervaded gaming for almost 3 decades now. Yeah, guys, this dude is a leftist. He is a leftist libcuck. And he has been against us and he hates us. Yeah, don't ever listen to anything this guy says. And this was some shots from the game here. He also said on Twitter, this is back in 2020 when Cyberpunk came out, spoke to CD Projekt Red boss Marcin Owinski this week about Cyberpunk crunch, controversies over transgender issues, GOG layoffs, and a bunch of other things. Yeah, this guy, guys... In case y'all are wondering why games are just dog shit, they're full of ugly women. They have terrible gameplay and like nobody wants to buy video games right now, it is because of the seeds that were planted for 10 years by Kotaku, by IGN, by Jason Schreier, by Anita Sarkeesian, and all these people, dude. This is directly related to all of this. These people have poisoned the well. They've been ruining the video game industry forever. One of his more embarrassing takes, though, was what Jason shred about Dragon Age Veilguard in 2024 when that game came out. So as we know, the game was a $400 million flop. It had this cringe seed of the chick saying, "So I'm non-binary." It had somebody doing push-ups for misgendering somebody, and nobody played it. As you can see from this chart here, Dragon Age is a huge franchise, and it lost $6 billion for EA. But the funny thing about Jason Schreier was he had a tweet. So it looked like maybe Veilguard was going to do good at first, and so Jason tweeted this. He said, "Go woke, go top the charts," because I assumed the game looked like it was going to do good at first. But then he deleted that tweet, of course. And then a couple days later, he posted this: "New EA is slashing its forecast for its fiscal year." So Jason did quite a 180 on that one. But with regard to the Veilguard controversy, he even admitted in a tweet, "I actually don't like the game very much, but I do like seeing you chuds get dunked on." I wanted to own the chuds. Yeah, guys. So I wouldn't. This dude for 30 or 40 years now of his entire pathetic life has been railing against gamers and railing against the chuds. So I would never believe a word that comes out of this guy's mouth. And finally, for a very long time, he has been writing thousands of articles about crunch culture. He started back in 2018 when Red Dead 2 came out. Here's an article from 2017 that he wrote. Video games are destroying the people who make them. And guys, need I remind you that Call of Duty 4 and Halo 3 had some of the most notorious crunch ever in video game studios. There were men sleeping at the office. And guys, here's my take on crunch. Stop being a fucking pussy and make the game. If you don't like crunch, quit. Stop being a pussy. My view is, yeah, dude, you work in video games. You're going to work 80 hours a week. You don't get both. You don't get to work in the coolest industry ever and get to go home at 5 p.m. I don't work in video games because I want to go home at 5 p.m. If I wanted to go home at 11 o'clock p.m. every night, I'd work in video games. So I have no sympathy for people who bitch and are pussies and complain about crunch culture. But yeah, guys, Schreier is literally the reason that games are bad now, because he was one of the main voices criticizing the companies who are doing this. And so my point in all this is that crunch is what makes good video games. Crunch is still what makes good video games. Crunch and small teams are how you make good video games. So basically, you can't trust a word this dude says in his new YouTube channel that he's